Hello and welcome. This is Ayana Lahi, and I'm so very happy that you are here with all of us today in this week's episode of Be One, Be You. We are diving into the theme loving without attachment. What does loving without attachment really mean? It means that you are choosing to connect and be one with your whole self. Your whole self is the union of your thoughts, your feelings, your soul, and the impetus, the momentum of your higher self, the strength, the divine inner wisdom that is there inside of every one of us. The beauty of evolving in your life, moving forward, opening up, takes awakening. And it's through awakening that inner awareness within inside of yourself that you can touch into the truth that's waiting for you. Truth is what moves your life forward. It moves each day forward. You're either striving to do things so much your way that the real truth, the authentic truth of a moment, of a situation, can't touch you. It sits by the wayside of your life as you walk by these incredible opportunities to awaken and to evolve. We're all here for one purpose, and that is the awakening into the presence, the beingness, the truth of who we are. And we each find our own way into it, and we each discover how our own inner truth guides us. So how does loving without attachment fit into what I'm saying? When you love with attachment, what it looks like is something like the following, and you'll have your own story. Loving with attachment means that you're super attached. You're needing the outcome to make you feel better about yourself, about your effectiveness as an employer, a parent, a partner, an artist, writer, composer. Your identity is wrapped up into your actions or even your thoughts, your expectations, and you are attached to the outcome. So an example is a parent who is attached to their child performing at a certain level for the parent's own satisfaction about who they are. Yes, the parent cares about the child, their child, and there is a sense of the child being a projection or an extension of who the parent is. And the bond that exists between the parent and the child becomes unhealthy. Attachment in a love relationship. You get super attached of how your partner has to show their love to you in order to feel loved, in order to feel seen, in order to be valued, in order to feel like you're being really taken care of, and that your feelings, your needs come before the relationship feelings and needs. You can become attached to needing to be really acknowledged about what you're doing. Yeah, we all need acknowledgement. But when we get super attached to it, or when we get super attached to looking at our cell phone 100 times a day, or 3 times an hour, or you say goodnight to your cell phone before you say goodnight to God, or hello, God, I'm closing my eyes now to go to sleep and I hope to come closer to you tonight. Whatever your plan of action is in your life is what runs your life. So when you are loving with attachment, there is less and less chance of really being able to grow until the source in the universe, the universal source inside and behind everything in your life and in everyone's life, hits you over the head with a 2x4 and says, hey, wake up. And you're given an experience, an argument, a relationship dying, petering out. Something shifts, something changes unexpectedly. And you have to face what that change is all about. And what change helps you grow through. And a lot of times these big changes that happen through us getting too attached to a material object, a person, a situation, a location, really creates suffering. So loving with attachment usually has to create a polarity effect. It can be a boomerang. Sometimes we are fortunate, and it can be more of a lightweight hit of help to get us to awaken so we can shift our perspective and how we are running our life. We get super attached in love, whether we're super attached to how we are performing as a musician, as a speaker, as a leader. We can become attached to our own modus operandi that is keeping us in a connection to being in control. And of course, all of this is connected into your original attachments as a little kid, because your grid, your inner matrix, is created through how you experience freedom, being controlled, love, fear, resistance, opening, receiving, giving, unconditional love, conditional love. You've got it. Those are the opposites, right? So loving with attachment keeps us in duality, which is the plane of awareness. It's a plane, it's a sphere, it's its own functional system of consciousness, keeps us in battle inside of ourself through our attachment to love. And all of us can relate to that. All of us can pinpoint a moment in our life or a situation when we were too attached to the outcome and we got too attached to the role that we were playing. And when you succeed and accomplish through being attached, there's a feeling of that you were able to endure through all odds. And it's a good feeling. And it can happen when you're in a situation where you know you need to be the hero, where you choose to be the hero, where you know you need to be the courageous warrior. And if you stay free in that role, meaning you're loving without attachment, you're able to make a wider, broader, deeper influence. When your love is unbounded, when the chains around you of proving your own self-worth, your own self-importance fall away, and you know that you are functioning from your own self, your own connection into your identity, the being that you are on a natural, true level, an awakening happens inside of yourself that gives you the opportunity to live in a relationship that is based upon not abandoning yourself, not betraying yourself, not rejecting yourself. And because you're honoring yourself, you are no longer needing to be loving with attachment. I once went through a relationship ending many years ago, and I was devastated. I was in levels of denial, and I did not want to really understand, take in that my partner was in a different direction and told me at the end of the relationship that he wasn't ready for the level of depth that we were, or he needed to move deeper into, and chose to slide into a new relationship. And I chose to receive it, accept it, but I was extremely sad and filled in deep grief. And I met with a friend the day after the relationship ended, and we physically parted ways, and he gave me wise insight. And he shared with me that if I was truly loving without attachment, that my own connection within myself would be solid enough to move me through this with greater encompassing insight and acceptance of the path that my partner was choosing to walk, which was right for him and not at all right for me. But because I was still loving with attachment, I went through a lot of suffering that could begin to heal faster because of my friend's insight, that wise wisdom, which then pushed me through my own receptivity to his suggestion to work for quite a few years to become whole in a deeper, more encompassing way, so that I can catch myself when I slip out of a boundary and love too much, when I am not able to embody being the full compassionate being that I am, and I get attached to an outcome. And over the years, I've been able to recognize the clarity of what it really means to be loving without attachment. And it happens through being connected into oneself. And as you know, I talk a lot about the new matrix system that's within inside of you. And it is a light system. There are portals of light in your energy system, your energy field, literally within your physical body. Your physical body is the container for the wondrous, omnipotent, omnipresent truth about where your true roots are. You're rooted into earth, and you're rooted into the infinite cosmic intelligence that creates every function in your body. Your cells in your body, the trillions of them, are all of light. And when we slip out of our alignment in our core matrix, that core energetic system, we create psychological issues, deep depression, emotional self-repression, where we don't allow ourself to come forth. And so then we end up being attached in love because we want the other person to fill us, or our career to fill us and to fill that hole inside of ourselves. And most likely we grew as little babies into children, into then pubescent younger teens, into full teenhood, with parents who had an attachment on some level to some belief system that was theirs, but not allowed to expand to meet our needs. And so we are confused, we become confused about attachment and what is healthy attachment and what is not. Living, loving, being without attachment is not 100% possible, except in rare moments, because our cells in our body are attached in our physical body until we wear out our life story, our love story, how we live in love. Are we devoid of it? Are we separate from love? Are we infatuated in love? Do we build ourselves up by how much we love our ego? Do we grow ourselves through our attachment to our accomplishments? Are we in love with love for just what love is? Can we find the peace that we are seeking inside that empty, open spaciousness of love inside? I want to invite you in the next week to experience loving without attachment, to love another, to give love to someone that you don't know, to bring love into how you show up every day. It's challenging, isn't it? Because we want the financial acknowledgement. We want to be acknowledged as a human being. It's natural. So there's a natural state of attachment that happens through how we are in relationship into and with the love that's inside of yourself. That connection, that true commitment becomes your strength and takes the place of the emotional attachment that can keep us from the spiritual, the broad, the universal connection, commitment, clarity of loving without attachment, but loving with greater wholeness, being whole with yourself, accepting you for who you are. So yes, in this following week, I invite you to practice being connected to the love within inside of you. Find that love inside of your inner child, the you part, the part of you that you separated from in order to fulfill the expectations and the projections of those people around you as you were growing up and moving into adulthood. And you might find yourself still caught up in your own attachments of how you need to be in order to be paid, to have the money that you need. I invite you to watch, to observe, and to choose to shift, no longer giving yourself away. To expand into everything I've just shared, I'd love to invite you to come check out my website, Ayana Lahi, IANALAHI.com, and subscribe in, and you will receive Living from Your Wild Heart, which is a 3-part video series delivered into your inbox every Saturday morning that comprises a meditation, a movement, and a wisdom teaching, an original way teaching to support you in growing deeper and wider and higher into the truth you, your original self. Thank you so much for joining with all of us, holding you in deep, deep love, shining light unto you in this day. Much love to you. This is Ayana Leahy.